Thank you for the introduction. That was very nice. Good morning, everyone. It's always a treat to be able to speak to young people because you guys have so much potential ahead of you. Your futures are just starting to form like a painting. Your stories haven't even been written yet. I was thinking about what I wanted to say to all of you today. There was a poet that I recall from high school, Robert Frost. I'm sure you're all familiar with him. Robert Frost once said that two roads diverged in a wood. I took the road less traveled by, and that made all the difference. So when I was in high school, I didn't know what that meant. And I'll be honest, I actually hated poetry. But now with a little bit of life experience, 18 or so odd years since high school, I think I really do understand what he was trying to say. So I believe that Mr. Frost meant that every individual has a path in life. We have a destiny that's shaped by the people that we meet, the opportunities that we get in life, the risks that we take, and the choices that we make. But I think if you really delve deeper into his words, you'll see that we're all unique. We're all individuals, and none of us have the same path in life. The atypical path, the path that may be different from the expectations that others may have for you, or the path that you may not even think is what you originally intended, might be the path that really helps you express your truest self and helps you reach your full potential. I'm so impressed by all the young people in the audience today because I can tell you at your age, I was probably watching TV on a Saturday morning. So you guys are already well ahead of the game, but I will tell you without putting a lot of pressure on you that you guys are at the most critical junction in your lives right now because every decision you make, every choice you make is what's going to influence your future, but not only for yourself, for the lives of those around you, your family and friends. And I am sure that some of you in this room today are probably going to change the world. So I hope that whatever it is I tell you today motivates you and encourages you to really strive to be the best that you can be. Apart from the excellent intro that the young lady gave, I just wanted to tell you a little bit more about myself just to let you know why I am speaking today. So I grew up in eastern North Carolina, so unlike a lot of you here, I was the only Indian in my entire school. So as you can imagine, every day was a culture clash between home and school. I remember going to school and I used to like rap music, and my parents hated that, of course. Pizza, football games, homecoming, and then you'd go home and you'd have dosa, you'd have various pujas, you'd have Indian movies that we thought were so fake at the time. But it was a night and day difference, right? Two completely different cultures, but I learned that they shared the same values. And from my parents, I learned the importance of family and hard work. And from American culture, as a bigger whole, I learned the importance of tolerance, diversity, and innovation. So I think without this duality of cultures, I never would have become who I am today, nor would I have achieved what I have today. So from Eastern North Carolina, I went to the North Carolina School of Science and Math, which I still think was probably two of the best years of my life. I met so many interesting students who were way smarter than me, but they forced me to look at things in different perspectives than I ever would have before. From there, I went to college at Duke, medical school and residency at UNC Chapel Hill, and then the last part of my training was at the University of Miami, and that's where I learned to become a cardiologist or a heart doctor. So as far as what I do right now, I work for a large healthcare company called Alignment Healthcare based in California, but I am responsible for all the patients that we have in Wake County, so it's about 5,000 patients. So initially when I took the job, it was very daunting. At times it could be stressful because it's a lot of responsibility. but I think it's an awesome responsibility. I'm very honored and humbled to have it, and without my friends, family, and community, I never would have had this particular opportunity. So that's kind of how I got here. Now, in terms of what I've learned in the last 18 or so years and what I wish I knew when I was in your shoes, I remember thinking back about high school and the things that I thought were very, very important back then. Friends, family, school events, getting into the right college, girls, of course, took so much of my time, and it was an exciting time, but it was stressful, and I still remember that. So what I would tell all of you today, I hope that you do things smarter than I did. And I would say, pull yourselves back from the individual steps of how do I get into such and such school, or how do I fulfill whatever expectations that people have of me, and really think to yourself, what kind of person do I want to be? Because at the end of the day, 20 years from now, when you look in the mirror, you want to be satisfied with what you've done in life, who you've helped, and what your journey has been like. Because I can tell you right now that your personalities, your identity, it's just starting to form. And your growth and development as an individual is the single most important thing you're going to do in life. Everything else, whether it's your job, your families, helping other people, it's all going to come from your personal growth. So I would say you've got the time now. Step back now and then and think about what it is that you want to do, and don't be afraid to hit the brakes. If you feel like you're doing something that doesn't feel right to you, slow down and take the time to really think about it and assess whether this is the right course for you. I was also thinking what would be really neat is if I could sit down with myself as a 16-year-old or 17-year-old, what would I tell myself? And I thought the first thing I would do is grab myself by the shirt collar and shake myself for all the dumb things I did when I was younger. But beyond that, I would say the most important thing you can do at this point in life is learn to listen. And that, my wife will tell you, is a skill I still don't have, But you... I can tell you where I got that from. But I would say just, listen to your friends, listen to your family, listen to your teachers, listen to your community, because these are the people that are going to help you achieve what you want to achieve in life. The next thing I would tell myself is to give back, because no person is self-made. Everyone here is a sum of all the experiences they've had and all the people that they've met. And the next thing I would say is dream big, because there's nothing that the human imagination and the human will can't achieve. Now, granted, I'm never going to be a basketball player, but there's a lot more that you can do with yourselves than you could ever think is possible. So really, just have that imagination, have that desire. The other thing that I learned along the way, it's a term called moral fiber. What moral fiber is it's the ability to make the right decision regardless of what the circumstances are. Breaking that down is just about doing the right thing. Now, we're all people, we all make mistakes, we mess up, but I think if you let moral fiber be your guide and you try to do the right thing, more often than not, you are going to do the right thing. And the last thing I really wanted to tell all of you is, the world can be a scary place and a lot going on, pollution, terrorism, natural disasters. But I would argue that being alive right now, at this moment in time, it's the greatest feeling in the world, and we are so lucky. Think about Earth. It's a small planet in the darkness of space. As far as we know, we're all that we have, right? So against all odds, we're here living on this planet. We are the brightest light of this planet. And so our lives matter. Every one of us. We're unique. There's only one of us, and we're special. So if you ever feel like you're getting lost, with the stresses of school, social pressures, whatever the case is, always remember that you are special, and that if you need help, never feel afraid to ask for it. So I would say enjoy the time that you have, make the most of it, and above all else, make sure that you enjoy the ride. Thank you.